Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and in today's video, I want to go ahead and talk about what's been going on in the Bitcoin market. I want to talk about my recent buy as well when it comes to Bitcoin, my expectations, and why I remain bullish, even though it feels like the entire market is dumping and there's fear in the streets. But before we get to that, be sure to subscribe, be sure to hit that like button, and be sure to follow me on X. So Bitcoin has had a pretty rough week. You can see here that Bitcoin has gone all the way down to about 52,500 before bouncing off of that level. Now, I recently did a buy for Bitcoin, and go ahead and jump right to this. The Bitcoin buy that I made was at about 53,980. This was roughly speaking about like right here or so, where the arrow is about 53K, almost 54K. And I didn't quite catch the bottom on this, but I was fairly close. Now, that being said, this is a smaller position. Usually when I buy, it's in small position sizing, and then I tend to size up as we go lower. So the reason behind this buy was the fact that Bitcoin right now is in kind of a rough place. If you go ahead and take a look at our fear and greed index, we're sitting at about 42 or so pretty solidly in the fear category, though not as extreme as extreme fear yet. We have not gone to that level just yet. And the daily RSI only hit 36, so that means it's not even technically oversold just yet. So that being said, I do think that Bitcoin could go lower because the RSI, again, not even oversold, and we're not in extreme fear just yet. So that's why I had a small position sizing for this Bitcoin buy. Now, I do think that it's entirely possible that Bitcoin can come all the way down to where we saw before at about 50K or so. Now, anything below this level, I'd actually call this the bargain basement level. And this band here stretches from about 50,000 to about 46,000. So this right here, if Bitcoin goes into this level, I think it's going to be a wick, just like we saw on the 5th of August, where Bitcoin does sell down to that level, but then quickly rebounds after that point. So that being said, I think the worst that we could see for the Bitcoin price is about 46K. I think that we're going to get a solid bounce. I don't think that Bitcoin's going to go to 46K and stay there and then head lower. I think that the absolute worst case scenario, I think that we'll wick down to 46K and then back up again. Now, the reason for this is because this is the on-chain mean. This is significant support, as ARK outlined in their last monthly Bitcoin report. So if Bitcoin does go into this bargain basement level here, I will be buying, and I will be buying more heavily as the Bitcoin price enters this area. So this is going to be a fantastic buying opportunity. Now, remember that when it comes to September is usually one of the worst weeks, one of the worst months for stocks and for crypto. In fact, we have the Dow logging the worst week since 2023. There was a jobs report that came out that was extremely weak. And not only did it bring down the Dow, but it brought down the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the VIX shot up, the volatility index shot up, and Bitcoin fell also as a result. Now, if you guys remember, I talk about Bitcoin seasonality because seasonality right now is strongly in play, and that's another reason why Bitcoin has fallen so far. Bitcoin's usual average drop for September is about 5%, but it has been as large as 13% or 19%. So again, it's very possible Bitcoin has more room to fall, but right now it's over the average fall for September. Now, as a reminder, October is one of the best months for Bitcoin, followed up by November with an average gain of 22% and a November average gain of 46%. So here's the thing. If you can stomach the volatility for Bitcoin, September is an excellent buying opportunity. Now, again, not financial advice, do your own research, but my plan this month is to buy as much Bitcoin as I possibly can, also to buy in October as well, and then get the anticipated bounce either in the November timeframe or the December timeframe. So I've already started that with this most recent buying that I made yesterday. So that's my overall objective, and I do think that when it comes to Bitcoin, we are going to see a nice little bounce, and Bitcoin will recover. I think it will recover and push above 60K again, and most likely push past the resistance level here at 63K, and then it has a decent chance at making a new all-time high by the end of the year. I think that's probably very possible. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is what's going on with the Bitcoin ETFs. Okay, so the Bitcoin ETFs, we've seen a large drawdown in Bitcoin spot ETFs. We saw the total assets go from 58 billion all the way down to about 48 billion, so a $10 billion drawdown in this time span of about a week. So we've seen some heavy selling, not only when it comes to the actual spot Bitcoin, but also when it comes to the ETFs as well, large outflows. Now, it's not all bad news, okay? We always like to take a look at what our friends the whales have been doing, and this is Bitcoin whale number wallet number Mr. 100. And so Mr. 100 has been buying Bitcoin, not a huge shock to anybody, but Mr. 100 has been buying Bitcoin at an extreme rate. In fact, just over yesterday alone, they made several Bitcoin buys here, about 5 or so hundred Bitcoin, and then an additional 100 Bitcoin for today. So they're sitting at about 600 additional Bitcoin. In fact, they've gone all the way up to the number 9 wallet spot for the Bitcoin wallet rankings. This whale has been on top of every single buy. Every single time Bitcoin has gone down to these levels, this whale has been buying heavily, and I do expect them to continue to buy, especially as Bitcoin goes and tests support here at 53K, and if it breaks under that support level, this whale is going to be buying heavily, even more heavily. In fact, we saw back in August where they actually bought about 2,000 Bitcoin in a single day, which was pretty insane. Now, I also want to go ahead and talk about the liquidation heat maps because this is something that I haven't covered in a little while, and it's still important to point out. Liquidation heat maps show us liquidity for various levels of price action for Bitcoin. Now, we have a large liquidity level here at about 57,300. This is $345 million worth of Bitcoin shorts. And if Bitcoin goes above this region, expect them to be liquidated and a nice little short squeeze to happen. Anywhere basically below 57, above 57,367, and then again another level at 57,700, and then a final level here at about 58,800. So just kind of about almost $1,000 increments in this case, and then in this case it's about $400 difference. So that being said, if Bitcoin establishes even just a little bit of momentum, we could see it fly all the way back up to 60K in a short period. Okay, so these shorts have been lining up, they've been stacking up, they've piled into Bitcoin during what is one of the most seasonally weak times for Bitcoin, and these shorts are going to be ripe to be squeezed. Okay, it's just going to be a matter of time, I think, until these shorts get completely destroyed. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the Bitcoin options market. So max pain price is still sitting at 57K for the end of the month, the 27th of September. Now, this is about 4 or 5% from the current price. So even with a usually bearish month of September, they're still expecting a 5-ish% gain by the end of the month, according to traders. If you subscribe to the max pain theory, the price will try to gravitate towards the max pain price of 57K, and I do think that that's definitely very possible, very, very possible, and that would be an easy 4 or 5% gain for the month of September. But let me know what you guys are doing for your Bitcoin. Let me know if you guys are going to be buying, if you're going to be selling, if you're interested, or you're just going to be sitting on the sidelines waiting for an all clear signal. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.